Good evening from Philadelphia, here at the Class of 1923 Arena on the campus of the University of Pennsylvania. Drexel men's ice hockey welcomes in George Mason University in ACHA Division I action. Jake Levin here with you on the call on the Sports Fan Base Network. I'm joined by Sean Kelly on production, Dan Booth on camera. Drexel trying to keep pace with the Rhode Island Rams atop the ECHA standings. Doing it, defending the goal to the right of your screen. There's your first look at Ryan Nocerino as Drexel is in their home whites with the navy and gold trim. Cross center ice glides Hayden Surratt, flipped one that went wide on Taeyang Lim, the starting goaltender for the Patriots there, and they're visiting green and gold. Evan Mudrick flips a shot high on the half wall, stick save by Lim. Gliding over to the far corner boards, Joseph Petit. Anton Kaczynski flipped one from behind the cage, rolled off the back of the net rather than Lim. Neutral ice, Brady Doyle gives it a shove as the Dragons in the midst of a change. Turned over, here comes Matt Harris. It's off the mark. Doyle patrolling center. He's going to flip it deep and make James Sharp go and collect. Sharp outlet pass from Matt Goodwin. Goodwin flipped a backhander well wide of Nocerino. Kept in, topped the zone by Farley. Trying to guide for Goodwin. Farley gloving it down. Near side half boards. That puck up high. Going to travel down towards Wyatt Hinkson. Hinkson gives that one away. That was to Ryan Sambuco, one of the leading scorers on this Drexel roster. You take a look at the ECHA scoring board leaders, and you're going to see a lot of Dragons inside the top 10, but a 2-on-1 develops. It's Farley driving with Goodwin, riding shotgun. He shoots, and a save made by Nocerino. Drexel turns it into quick offense. Chance for Sambuco. He'll flip it in a save by Taeyang Lim. Sambuco is the leading scorer in the ECHA, 24 points, including 11 goals. Only player in the conference averaging more than 2 points per game. Jimmy Jacobs right there with 19. Matt Harris also at 19. It's a deep Dragon roster. Shane Mulhern of the Rhode Island Rams, also with 20 points. He's in second. Meanwhile, gliding out near side wing, that's Nathan Steele. Steele will drop for Burkhan, and that is a good goal. Bar down, he scores. Lim looking behind him incredulously, but the referee made the call. A good bar down goal for Burkhan. We'll see if we can get a look at that on the replay. Obviously came out quick. Replay provided here by Sean Kelly. And look at this break up the near side. It's Nathan Steele gains the line. Obviously, we're not looking at an offside or not. That's Burkhan. And that looks like the right call. I think it went off the center of the goalpost in the back. Came out quick. 1-0 Dragons. 2:45 in. It's Burkhan. It's Burkhan's second goal of the season. He's been a big producer from the blue line in terms of points. Does have 9 assists. Steele, his third point of the season on an assist. So the Dragons are stuck deep. Ryan Lippy, one of the starting defensemen, with Hayden Surratt, his partner. Turned over, neutral ice. In comes George Goodwin. Shot to save Ryan Nocerino. Goodwin locked up with Lippy. Hauled him down as Petit goes to the point for Chun. Toggles the blue line. Fires, and it's off the end boards as Nocerino puts the clamp down. Puck still loose, though. No whistle. We're going to play on. Nice job by the officials to let that play continue. Chun, spinorama near point. Shake and bake out of the circle. Hangs to the puck. Floats one. It's blocked. Surrett finds some loose change. He skates out to the near side left, flips one on limb, and that'll explode up over the net. And a stoppage. 15:42 to play in the first. First of two games tonight here on the Sports Fan Base Network. Coming up at about 10:40. Could be a little earlier. See just how the pace of this game is. Drexel Division II ACHA team welcomes in the Westchester Golden Rams. Nice in-state battle. There's an ozone draw for the Dragons. It's Mudrick. He's got Doyle staggered. Top the circle, behind him to the left. One it is. Buchanan got a shot off. That's Petro Buchanan. Wyatt Hinkson up the near wall. Turns it over. Mudrick, a shot was blocked. Good back check from Hinkson. See a Dragon down, and that's because a trip and a penalty is coming. It's going to be on George Mason. First things first, let's make sure Anton Kaczynski is okay. Kaczynski, one of the speedier Dragons on this roster. It was his arm. And his left hand, it looked like he was shaking. So keep an eye on his potential return. In the meantime, Drexel to the power play at 4:33 of the first period. Matt Harris going to center this, it looks like. He'll have Jimmy Jacobs to his left in the slot. And Sambuco to the right off the half wall. Your point men, Benjamin Burkhan, the goal scorer, and Evan Mudrick. Patriots win the draw, cannot clear, kept in high by Mudrick. From the half boards, Jacobs. Tried to steer right back for Mudrick. Nice jump, and that's along the blue line. Maybe not as clean as the Dragons would like it. Stays in the offensive end. Only 20 seconds elapsed on the man advantage. Jimmy Jacobs from the far side comes up high for Burkhan. Quickly returned to Jacobs. In and out. Sambuco will fire. Sambuco once again. Jacobs off the half boards, collected with the skates, looking for the bumper. Unable to handle was Mudrick, as that net is a mile off its moorings. Chance for both teams to mix and match some personnel. So 43 seconds of zone time for Drexel to begin the power play. Maybe not as clean as they would like it. Had that loose puck along the blue line that stayed in. Off of the draw, Nathan Steele. Steele wins it for Latham Hutchinson. Hutchinson from the corner shoots. Going to go off the corner boards far side. Gliding over, Hayden Surrett holds the zone. Right back for Ryan Lippy, high in the circle. Missed the shove for Buchanan. Buchanan, Hutchinson through the corner. Now Lippy, top the zone, feeds Surrett, flings it up into the netting. More than a minute of zone time now for Drexel. Going to get an O-zone draw. 56 seconds left on the power play. Shots on goal in the early going, 6-2, favoring the Dragons. In case you're just joining us, goal scored Ben Burkhan, his second of the season from Nathan Steele at 2:45. Patriots finally get a clear. No Sereno, lonely in his own end, going to leave this one for Surrett. Surrett has Steele up the near side, gains the line. Steele looking back down ice, feeds Hutchinson. Hutchinson from the dot, fires in a glove stop by Lim. Couldn't hang on to it. Patriots do get a clear. Nicely done, chipped out by Tim Marisco. Surrett from the left wing, he'll chip. Chasing his Lippy. Kept in far side Buchanan. Back atop the zone, Surrett. Is blocked, action through the slot. 14 seconds on the power play. Mason all the way down the river. And George Mason appears as though it will bend but not break on this PK. Out of the box comes Alexei Karpov, and it's 5 skaters aside. Jimmy Jacobs, a burst through neutral ice. He gains the line and leaves it for Sambuco. Cross ice, wanted to return to Matt Harris. Out comes George Mason. Karpov, well rested after 2 minutes away. Going to dump it and go off. In to fetch Matthew Price. Lifted the stick, Brady Doyle. Looks for a way out. None to be had. This has icing written all over it with 12:59 to go in the first. Sambuco on for the draw against Price. Stalemate. Ultimately dug out by Drexel. Far side is Jacobs. Heads north for Sambuco. Weaves his way over through the circle. Couldn't get the tip from Harris. Jacobs to follow with the half boards. Back through the circle. Lim opts to shove it back out towards Quinn Alley. Kept in near point from Doyle. Winds up on target. Harris in for the rebound. Cycles to Doyle atop the zone. Fires and will go harmlessly out of play. Deflected by a Patriot. Should be another O-zone draw for Drexel. Looks like the third line out there now for the Dragons. Andrew Bodai on the half boards with Eric Eisler centering. Satoru Ito off the wing to the right. Point men Burkhan and Santino Tiberio. Daniel Tom, near side. Can connect with Farley. Burkhan clears the sheet. Hinkson from center ice. Shot on goal. No Sereno at the ready. Bad bounce off the end wall. No Sereno again is alert enough to cover it up with 11:59 to play in the first. Right now, it's Rhode Island in front with 15 points in the ECHA. Drexel and Villanova tied with 12 points apiece. Then you get to Westchester, 9. Navy with 8. George Mason right now, only 6 points. Tied with NYU and Lehigh, well ahead of Temple and Towson in the rear. Good O-zone time for the Patriots. Have not had a ton of it. George Goodwin. Far side, Tom. Tom embraces the contact from Steele. Poked loose, Steele. Tried to twirl one for Hutchinson. Kept in, Goodwin fires, saved no Sereno. Thwacked towards the boards. That was by Burkhan. And now a break brewing for Drexel. This is Steele. Had to feed it right up the middle for Hutchinson. Far half boards exploded off the handle of Adam Lazine. Shot came in from the point. Tibiero and a save for Lim. He's been busy. Steele gets it deep as the Dragons mix and match. Hinkson first on the scene for GMU. Bad hop as Lim comes out to challenge. He needed to do that or else he would have been dead to rights with Matt Harris at the doorstep. Jacobs trying to run it down. No icing. Really won the foot race with Tom anyways. Tim Marisco scoops it out. Now stuck on the half boards. Jacobs through the right circle. Goes to the point. Lippy cocks and fires. Lim able to get a piece of it. Surrett pinches in. Dials up Sambuco from Gretzky's office. He goes right back to Surrett. And what's our whistle here? Loose net again, perhaps? I guess so. Yeah, okay. That was a little more off than initially looked. They call it Gretzky's office behind the net sometimes. That's where Sambuco was set up and where the Great One collected so many of his points, just dishing from behind the cage. Sambuco had that look. Meanwhile, great save. Lim flashes the leather on Matt Harris. We'll reset and do it again from the offensive zone. 10:09 to play in the first. Harris going to stagger a bit up the circle. Sambuco wins it right to him. Cocking, firing, save Lim. Closes the 5-hole just in time. Those shots start to pile up. It's 11-4 in favor of Drexel. Looks like the same play is on. Sambuco able to win it back towards Harris. Twiddled a bit, and there's a shot from Lippy. Save Lim. You already know. Another offensive zone draw for Drexel. 9:58 to play in the first. Harris wins clean to Sambuco. Can do it from the right side as well. But the shot blocked, and the Patriots get a belated clear. Lippy skates through, keeps it away from the cage. Sharp, loose puck. His pass blocked by Surratt. Great give and go. Price, he scores! Caught flat-footed were the Dragons. Price does a great job just taking what the defense was giving him. Fires on cage, and I'm not sure if Nocerino lost his footing or not. We got a tied game. Here's how it went down. Can see it really starts with James Sharp. That initial shot, and even though it was blocked, Price fetches from the corner. And here he goes, makes that cut from the right wing side, and I think Nocerino thought that Joseph Petit still had the puck. 1-1, Price the goal at 10:25. Just the fifth shot for the Patriots. Who just iced the puck. Well, no. Linesman on the near side waved it off, so on we play, and that looks like the correct call. Good hustle by Mason. Quick exit for Andrew Bodeye. Left circle, backhander, never reached the cage. He gets it back. Now it'll carry him favorably for Dylan Chun. Outlet for George Goodwin. Moves the troops up ice. Burkhan lifts the stick. This could tumble on cage. No icing. I think it was touched by a Patriot on its way through. It was Quinn Alley. From the left, looks for a way out. Swooping through his steal for Burkhan. Cross ice is Tiberio. Hutchinson gets a look. Plylar, far side. Gonna wind up with Farley. Gains the line with Goodwin, riding shotgun. Returns to Farley, and a great stop for Ryan Nocerino. That was a well-executed 2-on-1, started late. George Mason, some pep in its collective steps since tying this game. Puck a mile high off the draw. Goodwin bats the point for Fisher. Shot off the half boards. Nocerino holding that far post. Loose puck for Lippy. Steers one towards Lazine. Alley is there. Fisher back up the left. Nobody home. And this should be icing. Call confirmed. 7:34 to play in the period. Top line out there for the Dragons. It's Sambuco with Harris staggered off to the left. Jacobs in the slot to the right. Goes back to the point man, Surratt. He feeds Harris off the half boards. Left circles, Sambuco shoots and scores! Can't draw that up any better if you're the Dragons. Great control off the draw, and it's 2-1. Taking a look at this one is Sambuco. He wanted to win the draw to Harris, but hey, better to be lucky than good sometimes. The able-handed Surratt keeps it in. He goes back to Harris in the left circle to Sambuco. Only three who touched the puck, and it's 2-1. Time of the goal, 12:33, so just a little more than 2 minutes of response time. Drexel's back ahead. Karpov tries to counter. Nocerino the save. Here's Sambuco out it again. One-on-one with Hinkson. Shoots, and that's going to carry him all the way back out neutral ice. Trying to take the top off here. It's Morisco. Alone, and a save. No Sereno. He tried to shove it 5-hole at the last second. No Sereno didn't bite. Harris feeds Jacobs in a 2-on-1 with Sambuco. Wide open. Jacobs will fire though. Save Lim, and he falls back atop. With 6:46 to play in the first. A wide open ice now. A goal for Sambuco, his 12th of the season. He is up to 25 points. Matt Harris joins the 20-point club. That was his 12th assist. And Hayden Surratt, his 4th helper, gives him 8 points. Lim's got to be at the ready. Tumbling puck, stopped and left for Chun. Chun up the middle. It's intended for Petit. And now Price, who had that Mason goal. They're going to tie this game. No. Waved off as Petit was crashing the net, which obviously came dislodged. See if we can dial that one up. This is Price. Good things seem to be happening when he touches the puck. It looks like Petit took a swing and it would have gone in. But the referee behind said no goal. They're going to get together to discuss. There's no replay for the officials to look at, so this is just going to be a judgment call whether they opt to overturn it. Let's see. I think Mason has a legitimate gripe. Now, the referee made the call almost immediately. Here's yet another look. Price. He was driving. No Sereno got a piece of it. I guess you could make the case that Petit, in colliding with Burkhan, pushed him into no Sereno. I guess that's what the referees are going by, so there's your call. It stays 2-1 Drexel. 6:24 to go in the first. Patriots control the draw. Chun a shot. Petit. And to leave one for Nick Ransom. Ransom. As Chun fires one high off the glass. Lazine tries to clear out the back door. Succeeds on a whack from Bodai. Hayden Surratt, an outlet for Andrew Bodai. Gets it back from Hutchinson. Feeds it near side. Lazine jousts with Sharp. Sharp controls the puck for Petit. And here comes Price in a 2-on-1. Ransom on his wing. Price shoots and scores. Do not leave Matthew Price with space. He scores again, and it's 2-2. Price sees an opening and takes it. That's really what that comes down to. Obviously had Ransom open as well, but when you're feeling it, you're feeling it. Time of the goal, 14:30. So again, about 2 minutes of response time. Maybe an unassisted goal as well for Price. Price entered the game second on the team in points behind Goodwin. He's now got 2 goals, 6 on the year, 15 points. Goodwin with 19 points to lead the Patriots. Less than 5 to play in the first. No icing. Alley back to retrieve the puck. Take some contact from Buchanan. And a stoppage for 4:46 to play in the period. Sambuco tried to win for Harris, staggered to the left in the circle. Dragons have the puck back from their own end. Alley back for Andrew Fisher. Glove down Hayden Surratt. He had eyes up ice. Jimmy Jacobs starts the breakout from the far side now. Wheels one to the near end for Sambuco. Back to Harris. Sambuco bypasses it. Surratt. Back to Sambuco from the half boards. Cross zone Lippy. He'll fire. Friendly fire at that off Jacobs. Patriots can't clear. Sambuco shoots high atop the circle. Stick save Lim. Great zone time right now for Drexel as Surratt feeds cross for Lippy. Back down low for Matt Harris. Less than 4 to play in the period. And a rare miscue by Ryan Lippy. Drexel's going to have to get it deep again and likely punt on this rush. Although Jacobs and Harris are still out there, it'll be some mixed lines. At least a moment for Drexel. Third forward high is Lazine. Stalemate across the way. Jacobs and Harris have been out there for a while. Well, you wouldn't know it. Jacobs still trying to find some loose change towards the crease. Lazine hammers one, and Lim at the ready. Stick stop. This is still Jacobs and Harris out there. They got to be gassed. Not good when Price is on the ice. Jacobs gets off, but Harris is still out there. You'd have to think as he heads back up ice with Drexel, he'll go off for reinforcements. And there he goes. Hook him up to an IV. Less than 3 minutes to go in the first. 15-9 are the shots. 2-2 our score. Drexel leads. No shots on goal. Should be icing. And there it is. Nathan Steele on for the ozone draw, wins it against Price. A shot from Lazine. That puck had some eyes. Near side high, but Lim got a piece of it. 2.5 to play in the first. Zone time has certainly favored Drexel, as have the shots. It's been the fast break. Those odd man rushes have been lethal for the Patriots. This is mano a mano now. Ransom, a shot and a save, no Sereno. Explodes all the way out towards Steele. Lim will tend it and leave it for Tom. Tom gloved one down. Don't know if this is going to have the legs for an ice. It won't. Waved off. Giveaway behind the cage coming up the slot. Dragons playing back. Chun holds the zone for GMU. Shot to save Goodwin. I should say shot from Goodwin to save no Sereno. Now comes Drexel. Bodeye. In deep. Lim will tend it. Up the far side. Farley gains the line, dead middle. Goodwin fires and he scores! George Goodwin for a George Mason lead. It's 3-2 at 18:45 of the first. Puck barely left the ice, if at all. Here's how it goes down. Goodwin in off the near post. Credit the assist to Farley. 3-2. Goodwin, the team's leading scorer for a reason. That's what he's capable of. Jimmy Jacobs back to the offensive end for the Dragons. No shot on that rush. Surratt had to weave for Harris. This puck is going to deflect well out of play. Price wins the draw, back for Sharp. Chun, back for Price. Had to bump one for Ransom. In no man's land, Hayden Surratt wanted Sambuco. Bad carom for the Patriots, but Chun was over to collect. Jacobs had to shove for Harris. Price controlled by Jacobs. Now Surratt back to Jacobs. Crossed one. Racing over Ryan Lippy. 20 seconds to go in the period. Sambuco, one-time bid for Surratt is blocked. Harris, top the slot, gives to Surratt. The shot is blocked by Chun this time. Tumbling around up the slot, Sambuco can't fire. And one last rush for Mason. This is Price. He gets leveled by Lippy with the elbow. Looked clean enough. And that's how the first period's going to come to a close. Perhaps a tone-setting hit from Ryan Lippy, but it is George Mason with a 3-2 lead after 20 minutes here at the Class of 1923 Arena. We'll take a break. They'll make ice. We'll be back on the Sports Fanbase Network in about 15 minutes. Second period underway from the class of 1923 arena on the campus of the University of Pennsylvania. Teams have switched sides. George Mason out to a 3-2 lead over the Drexel Dragons here on the Sports Fanbase Network. Jake Levin with you on the call as the Dragons attacking the goal to the right of your screen. Shots were 17-11 in favor of Drexel in the first period, which got out to a 1-0 and later a 2-1 lead. But Matthew Price, he has been a problem for the Dragons. He got the equalizer at 10:25, the next equalizer at 14:30, and then what stood as the go-ahead goal for now, George Goodwin at 18:45 on a great outlet pass from Andrew Farley. For Drexel, goals scored by Benjamin Burkhan and Andrew Sambuco. Sambuco continuing to lead the ECHA in scoring. This is Ryan Lippy. Feeds Sambuco. Great entry pass for Matt Harris. Sambuco for the trailing Surrett. Just a bit outside. Another odd man rush develops. This is Petit with Price. Give him the hat trick. He scores. 4-2 Patriots. The odd man rushes have been killing Drexel in this one. And Matthew Price has been at the forefront of all of them. Just 55 seconds in, period number 2. No hats on the ice for Price. He still has almost 40 minutes left to score a few more goals. Drexel right back to the attacking end. That one was off the apron of the cage. Karen is looking towards Doyle. Had to go to neutral ice to retrieve the puck. Lim will tend it, shoves it back towards Wyatt Hinkson. Onside is Farley. It was a very late developing 2-on-1 that never materialized. Loose puck and a fancy work of the glove from Ryan Nocerino. We'll keep this 2-goal deficit for Drexel. Hat trick for Price gives him 7 goals on the season. So obviously he had some goal scoring chops coming into the game. 4 goals through 12 contests. He's better than a point-per-game player for the Patriots. Fisher from the blue line changed directions. Never did reach Nocerino. Tiberio up the far wall. No connection with Eisler. Here's Eisler again on side. From the opposite corner, he pursues. Tries to leave it for Lazine. Quinn Alley turns on the brakes. Relentless forecheck right now from Drexel. Trailing by 2 goals all of a sudden. Quick look, and that was Hutchinson. Couldn't get it short on Lim's pad. Chance for numbers here for George Mason. Still some gas in those legs. This is Markowitz atop the slot. He shoots and a save, Nocerino. And once again, George Mason does a great job flipping the sheet. Earns the ozone draw. Shots now 18-14. At one point, the shots were 12-4. Obviously, has evened out considerably in the interim. Sambuco against Price. Iron against iron on that draw. Advantage Drexel. Jacobs looking north. No icing. This is tended and left for James Sharp. Petit. Here's Price. Jacobs jockeys it loose. Chun. Near side Sharp. Sharp returns to Chun. Now Price, shotgun pass from Ransom. Petit, swept up by Lippy. Price gets another shot on goal. Saved no Sereno. Out towards Jacobs. Surrett for Harris. Too hot to handle. Price will get it deep as his parting gift before going off. Doesn't have to score on every shift to be effective. He's doing all the little things here as well for George Mason. Puck got stuck along the Dragon bench. I'm not sure exactly what's up there. I think we might have an issue with the gate. Well, the puck was up over the gate. Been resolved, so on we go. Should be a center ice draw. 16-16 to go in the second period. Chun with his head on a swivel. He sees Ito breaking in towards him. Plyar now, the breakout. He'll flop one high, trying to track it down far corner. It's Goodwin. Goodwin with an assist tonight. He's the team's leading scorer. Blown a tire behind the cage with Steele. Back through neutral ice and has the look of an icing. Bit of a belated call there, but enforced with 15:41 to go in the period. Tim Marisco on for the ozone draw. Has to bide some time against Steele. Finally freed. No Sereno makes a stop. Doyle flips one to the middle, and Ito has some space. Fires high and wide. Shoot out the far side. Big hit thrown by Bodai. It was clean. Only one penalty so far in this game. It was a tripping call on Karpov. For what it's worth, I don't believe I've seen Anton Kazitsky since that penalty. Looks like he was shaking his arm a little bit after that trip. He's one of the more dangerous forwards on this Dragon unit. Drexel in control of the offensive end. This is Burkhan, who had the game's first goal. Through the corner for Mudrick. He's playing hot potato. Up the half wall, Karen. And that will go up and over the glass. I would imagine ozone draw for Drexel. So he's out off the Patriot. Top line out there for the Dragons. It's Harris against Price. Advantage Harris for Sambuco. His offering's blocked. Burkhan glides over, holds the zone. Should be staying in the offensive end. Sambuco will try to win it to Harris again. Staggered up the left circle. Price bests him on the draw. Here's Petit near side. For Price. Slippery as ever is Price. He shoots, and it's going to go off the stick of Burkhan. Near corner. Ransom. Try to toggle out with Petit, and now Price in the near circle. No Sereno. Preemptive paddle, keeps it away from the crease. Price, far side, alley at the point. Got stuck on Burkhan as Ransom ahead of the defense. Drops for Price, trapped through the skates, a shot. Saved no Sereno, and again he comes out to challenge Price. Drexel has his number now. That one's up and out of play. Our shots on goal are just about even. 18-17 for Drexel. Andrew Farley on for the ozone draw for the Patriots. Advantage Hutchinson. Surrett can clear the zone. Ryan Lippy, right place, right time. He's up through neutral ice. Went on his own accord. You can see an arm come up from the referees. Near circle is Steele. Lim was at the ready and explodes out towards Goodwin. Trying to get a leg on Surrett. Reaches out, puck corralled by Farley. Leaves in for Goodwin. Tried to shove a backhand far side, wouldn't go. Is Surrett. Sweeps off the glass. Glove down by Sharp, and now opportunistic, a steal right by him. High developing 2-on-1 with Hutchinson. He found Hutchinson as Lazine plays the puck for Lippy. Shoots. This is going to be Lazine again. Lazine through the left circle. Back down ice, kept in by Surrett. Near point Lippy. He'll bat one through the corner wall for Hutchinson. So much needed zone time here for the Dragons. Swing and a miss, Lazine from Steele in the slot, but kept in. Far side, Surrett, misplayed by Lippy. He'll recalibrate, get it deep, and the forwards all off for Drexel. Ditto for the defensive pairing. Jimmy Jacobs, well rested in. Hello, friendly fire there. Dylan Chun sends one into the George Mason bench. Everybody's okay. This draw is going to come back into the Mason defensive end. 12:23 to play in the second. Shots are now even, 18 apiece. Matthew Price completed a hat trick just 55 seconds in to period number 2. That's where we stand, 4-2 for the Patriots. Harrison holds, shoots, goes off the post. Sambuco tries to jam, and that net is loose. That was great patience from Matt Harris. He gets everything but the goal to show for it. Not sure if we can get that one up on the replay or not. So, all right, back to it. Harris, Sambuco staggered. You know the drill. Jacobs to the left in the slot. Hinkson towards Plylar. Harris swiped it for a moment. Harris deep again. Funny carom on Lim. He'll leave it for Tom. Tom up the middle. Nobody home. Will this be icing? Yes. 11:50 to play. So here's this last sequence, and you're catching the tail end of it. It doesn't really do justice to Matt Harris in that initial shot. He, very patient, held on to it a little bit longer. So now we go back to action on the ice, I believe. Or no, this is a look. Once again, you're going to see Harris. Look at this. He hangs on, and net came off. He's back out there. Sambuco, far corner. The net's loose again with 11:40 to play. Karpov collects, sends it to neutral ice. Coming back in on Lim. He's going to have no choice but to tie it up. Karen up in his space. Price won the draw, no one in particular. Fisher goes out the back door for Ransom. Onside is Price. Poked loose by the trailing Tiberio. Alley held the zone, guided for Ransom. Alley again, can't hold it. Steele Trotting along left circle, tried to feed ahead to Buchanan. And the follow on from Mudrick is high off the glass. Price fanned at one. It was designed to be a self-pass off the glass. Back to the near side, Mudrick. Toggles with Buchanan, gains the line. Shot is on the mark, but saved by Lim. Guides one towards the corner boards. Steal up the wall from Mudrick. Slap shot from Burkhan is stopped by Lim. 10:31 to go. Last three shots in this game now on goal have been for the Dragons. A lot more zone time than George Mason in that first period. Really have not seen that here in the second. Eisler from Bodeye. Farley tries to ward him off the puck. And we're going to have interference here on Hayden Surratt. So he got tangled up with Farley right in front of the official at center ice. Drexel's going to be shorthanded for the first time at 9:39 of the second period. A chance for George Mason to really turn up the pressure. Penalty killers for the Dragons will be William Mikolas along with Brady Doyle. It's like Adam Lazine and Nathan Steele have joined them. Power play for the Patriots. Marisco, Plylar, and Petit are up front with Alley and Goodwin, your point men. No Price to start this. Gummed up on the left side wall, Marisco. Plenty of space. Goodwin from the point right into the mitt. No Serino the stop. Exactly halfway home in this one now. 4-2 lead for George Mason over Drexel. Dragons led 1-0 and 2-1. Playing catch up since. Win for Steele on the draw. Mikolas able to clear the sheet. Puck left for no one in particular by Alley. Great layering. It was Miranda saved the day for the time being. Could have been a break-in chance for Steele. Dragons send out some new penalty killers. Hutchinson high in the zone. It's Alley left it for Petit. Goodwin gonna enter far side right. Most of the starting power play units still out there for George Mason. That puck loose far to the doorstep. And then halfway gone now is Chun. He's new to the group, held the zone, batted out by Bodeye. Lim tends and leaves for Chun. Goodwin's still out there. Everybody else has come off for George Mason, which means Price has come on. Farley out there along with Ransom. Here comes Price. The entry's for Goodwin. He's onside. He shoots and a save from No Serino. Bodeye gets the clear, and it's a slow-moving puck. "15 seconds left on the power play. A couple of restarts back in for the Patriots. Here's your latest with Ransom. Finds the puck at the half boards, jockeyed loose by Burkhan. 2 seconds left. Surratt will rejoin the battle. Drexel 1-for-1 on the PK, but here's Price. Steps out from the left wing corner. Chun cutting in. He shoots and it's blocked. Nicely done by Burkhan. Matt Harris winding up for a full ice rush. Harris is onside through the right circle. Couldn't bisect Goodwin. Boy, is he going to need a breather. He was out there the whole 2 minutes of the power play. Reaching back is Farley. No signs of coming out either. He was the high forechecker. Tiberio gains the line near side. Left one for Harris, and a save by Lim. Didn't get all of it. Jacobs top the slot. He fires. Save Lim. Pinballs around. Still loose. Nobody home for a tip-in. Harris from behind the cage. Wanted Sambuco. Surratt into a tone for his minor. Sambuco for Harris, for Jacobs. And a save Lim as that net did get dislodged prior. Brings us to a stop. 7:23 to play in the second. Harris wins the draw. Sambuco on the half boards. Draws a couple of defenders. Fisher jarred it loose. Karpov, give and go on the breakout with Markowitz. Couldn't gain the line. Harris really lost it with Markowitz. He's going to carry him back, and it's Harris again. He'll enter far side left. Alley for Fisher. Tied him up a bit. Jacobs feeds Sambuco. Shot got blocked by Karpov. Now George Mason with a chance the other way. Markowitz get by Surratt clean, at least not with a puck in tow. Ryan Lippy. That's in front for Sambuco. Shotgun pass, Jimmy Jacobs straight up the middle. Down to the right circle. The shot and a save by Lim. Markowitz plays the carom, kept in by Steele. Puck still some life for the Dragons. This is Mudryk looking for Jacobs, and he couldn't pull the trigger. It would have been Steele, rather. Jacobs, third forward, still out there with some mixed lines. No Serino, punches one aside for Doyle. Nicholas. Center ice taken back by Wyatt Hinkson. No Serino, going to leave it for Doyle. Turns it over to Petit behind the cage. Price was lurking in the slot, up high instead Hinkson. Plenty of velocity, not much in aim. Tom pinched in, couldn't hold the zone, so it's Hinkson trying to dial him back up. Near side Evan Mudryk shoots to the opposite corner. Steele will try to play the carom. He's joined by Bakarin. All three forwards in deep for the Dragons. Burkhan, left point. This will find its way to Bakarin. Steps out near side in front. Still loose. Lim may have gotten a piece of it. Bakarin sends it back up top for Tiberio. A shot, and it gets worn by Steele. Out come the Patriots. Good chance for Drexel. Tiberio gets it deep once again. Top line coming on for the Dragons. Harris and Sambuco forechecking. Jacobs with very little rest out there as well. Patriots in the midst of a change. Jacobs tried to guide it for Harris. Would have been offside. Less than 5 to go now in the second. Far side is Goodwin. Picking up speed from the right. Shoots, and that may have clung some iron. On its way to the end glass. Dragons dodge one there as Jacobs tries to ignite the break. Being harassed by Goodwin. Gains the line. Jacobs had it poked free by Farley. Plylar lost it to Sambuco. Feeds to open ice. Burkhan plays it off the wall. Shot blocked. They have hurt Farley a little bit. He's a little low on that right arm. Farley indeed heading off. Keep an eye on him. Is Sharp for Chun. Now Surratt gets deep again for Drexel. Harris skates towards the puck, right wing corner boards. Sharp ties it up. Sambuco will try to free it. Harris still holding. Stalemate concludes. Surratt open in the slot, and it takes off to the right. Harris plays the carom, feeds Sambuco, and that's wide off the end boards. Sambuco gearing up for yet another chance. Surratt, tick-tack, nobody home is Harris. Gonna go across towards Jacobs. Harris in front, tried to find the cut in Lazine. Cleared all the way back towards No Serino. He'll be patient. Gives it to Lippy. Now Surratt. 3:23 to play in the second. Shots on goal, 24-22 in favor of Drexel. This is onside. Hutchinson through the circle for Lazine. Tried to shove a forehand. Won't go. Lim. Bring us to a stop. 3:10 to go. Fisher taps one back towards Quinn Alley. Price with space. Petit. Could be a 2-on-2. Numbers not there for the Patriots. They do have the offensive zone with less than 3 to go in the second. Price, lone goal scorer this period, less than a minute in. Toggles with Ransom. Ransom, flip one out to the blue line. He scores! Quinn Alley fed one. Tipped on its way through. We'll see who gets the goal. It's 5-2, George Mason. Well, that would be Joseph Petit leading the handshake there. Not the handshake line, but the players over towards the bench. Looked like Petit got a piece of it in front. Price provided the screen. Alley was definitely the shooter. And then the tip, I believe, was for Petit. Three-goal deficit for Drexel. Time of that goal, about 17:30. Trying to counter quick was Steele. Nothing doing. Mudrick finds the puck. So does Taeyang Lim. Ties it up. 2:12 to go in the second. Drexel continues to outshoot George Mason. But the deficit is large as it has been tonight. Steele stapled to the wall by Sharp. Steele freed it for Burkhan. Near point, wanted Tiberio. There's Morisco. Lost it to Burkhan. Bakarin. Now Steele. Steele in front. Lim will paddle it. What's our call? Top line out there for Drexel. Looks like the Dragons are really going to give it a go and try and get at least one back before this second period ends. Kept in by Tibiero, feeds one. That was blocked by Karpov. In the right place at the right time. That one's off of Burkhan. Inside 80 seconds to play now this period. Sharp on the puck for the Patriots. Dangerous pass. Really sequence of passes back in front, but it's Plylar now. Cross the way. Pocket pick by Burkhan. Onside. Harris going to give chase. Goes to the left wing corner. Spun it for Jacobs. Up the slot. Nobody home. Stride by stride. Here comes Chun. Tibiero gets back, and that's turned aside by No Sereno. Chun, a defenseman. As Farley shoots one high. Save No Sereno. Puck still loose. Patriots haven't found a shot they don't like. They'll fire from anywhere. That one comes in on No Sereno. He was at the ready. I think the shot tracker's a little bit behind, but I have to imagine it's going to be favoring the Patriots overall. Obviously this period as well, when all is said and done. Final 15 seconds. If Drexel can hustle. One last chance. Jimmy Jacobs will spin one well wide. Coming off the far corner now. Does Goodwin have the speed? He's going to punt on it, but for George Mason, they enter the period with a one-goal lead and have extended it to 5-2 here at the Class of 1923 Arena. We'll take a break. When we come back, third period action. Can the Dragons stage a comeback over the Patriots. You're watching the Sports Fanbase Network. George Mason scored early in the second period. George Mason scored late in the second period. Both goals padding a lead on the Drexel Dragons, who did lead this game 1-0 and later 2-1. 4 as of yet unanswered for the visitors. Jake Levin back with you on the call here on the Sports Fan Base Network. Teams will switch side one final time as the Dragons attack in the goal to the left of your screen. Shots on goal are even, 24 apiece. Taeyang Lim has been a difference maker. He just made another stop, but a laser from the point from Lippy. That one denied. Sambuco may have gone more off the side of the cage as it is. Matthew Price ahead. He has been the party starter for the Patriots. He has a hat trick. Completed that just 55 seconds into period number 2 as Jimmy Jacobs feeds Sambuco, and that was warned by Dylan Chun. The carom comes towards Brady Doyle as Jacobs from the corner tried to steer back towards Sambuco. Sambuco has a goal for Drexel, their most recent goal. Doyle feeds one, easy stop for Lim. Reminder, there's a doubleheader tonight on the Sports Fan Base Network. Drexel Division II team playing host to the Westchester Golden Rams. That's coming up at about 10:30, give or take. See how quick the conclusion of this one is. Fisher races over, left point, holds the zone. Goodwin. He's got one goal for George Mason. That gave them their first lead of the game at 3-2. Dragons struggling to clear, reaching back for it, Evan Mudrick. Try up the back door for Doyle. Goodwin almost ran into Farley. They were in the offensive end. Now Buchanan. Jettison back towards Mudrick. Goodwin, that would have been a hand pass, but possessed by Drexel. Fluttering puck, Quinn Alley will reach for it. Alley has what, as of yet, has been determined an assist on the goal, the most recent goal scored by Joseph Petit. Alley with a shot, Petit the redirect to make it 5-2 with 17:30. Second period. This one stays onside for Plylar. Shot and a save, no Sereno. Dragons, that could be too many men, and I believe Drexel's going to get this call. It was a split second, but you could see a bit of a fire wagon change there for the Patriots. Officials are going to get together, confirm this, but as it looks, only 4 Patriots on the ice. Somebody's going to have to come over and serve it, Travis Plylar. And for just the second time this evening, Drexel will get a power play. Dragons did not score on their earlier power play, have more than a minute of zone time to begin that extra man session. So it'll be the usual suspects. Matt Harris with Jimmy Jacobs to his left. Ryan Sambuco to his right. Point men Ben Burkhan and Evan Mudrick. Burkhan holds the zone. Just barely. Jacobs from the left. Harris behind the net, playing catch with Jacobs. Moves through the circle. Sharp got a stick on it. Steers for Mudrick. Mudrick left point. Cross now Burkhan. Diagonal for Jacobs. Cocks it. Fires and a save Lim. Sharp looks for a way out. None to be found. Burkhan had the game's first goal. Hammered one off the corner. Kept by Mudrick. Jacobs setting up a triangle. Cross ice. Couldn't connect clean to Burkhan. Keeps going to Harris. 40 seconds of zone time so far for Drexel. Now Sambuco, top the zone. He'll fling one, and Price is going to whack it out after it was blocked by Chun. No Sereno waste, no time. Getting it back north for Sambuco. Harris going to have to recalibrate. Puck took a funny carom. Mission accomplished. Sambuco steers one. Harris goes to collect at the end boards. Halfway gone on this power play. Jimmy Jacobs from the left circle. Gives back to Evan Mudrick. Mudrick cycles up top. Sambuco shoots, and it changes directions. Comes all the way back out. Burkhan on a diagonal, wanted Sambuco. Gonna get a favorable carom off those boards, tied up by Lim. And this, well, I thought Drexel might keep its top power play unit out there, but instead 5 on, 5 off. So now it'll be Latham Hutchinson with Nathan Steele to his left, Pietro Baccarin to his right, point men Hayden Surratt and Ryan Lippy. Wyatt Hinkson gets the clear. Steele dumps one that Lippy will chase. Trying to bide some time for Hutchinson. It's all spun around. Coming out for Hayden Surratt. He'll feed Hutchinson. High in the zone. Plenty of traffic, and he scores. Drexel needed that one desperately. It will count as a 5-on-5 goal, but no matter. It's a 2-goal game here in Philadelphia. Let's see if this actually may go down as a power play goal. Looking up at the clock, not that it matters. I think Hutchinson held for a while. You hadn't seen the 5th Patriot yet break on, but it's a good goal for Latham Hutchinson. Snaps a lengthy scoring drought for the Dragons. Time of the goal, 4 minutes, 38 seconds. That's Hutchinson's 3rd goal of the season. First 5 shots on goal this period belong to the Drexel Dragons. More zone time. This is Baccarin. For Surratt, shoots, and Lim does get a piece of it. Racing over is Steele. Right side corner goes to Lippy. Back to the near side. Surratt fires and scores! 2 goals less than a minute apart. Drexel right back in this game. It's 5-4. Two goals, 45 seconds apart. Hayden Surratt, his 2nd goal of the contest. And now your top line's out there for the Dragons. No Serino, his first touch of the 3rd period. That won't count as a shot. Shots here in the 3rd now. 6-0 for Drexel. A little wind at the sails of the Dragons. Multi-goal game for Hayden Surratt, the point man. Surratt now up to 6 goals on the season. Jimmy Jacobs, patient, now dials up Sambuco. Quinn Alley back across for Fisher. Neutral ice, Doyle. Had to steer one back to the attacking end. Plylar from the far side. Harris has it. Missed the mark on Farley. Patriots going to change some personnel. Nicholas in deep, turns on the brakes, looks out to his right. Jacobs trying to go a long diagonal for Steele. Didn't connect, and this puck is up into the stands. Latham Hutchinson at 4:38. Hayden Surratt at 5:23. 2 goals, 45 seconds, and 1 brand new hockey game here. The class of 1923 arena. Hayden Surratt also had an assist on Sambuco's goal. So it's a 3-point night so far for the defenseman. Petit. His goal would stand as the winner right now. The tip in late in the second period. Get the feeling 5 goals might not be enough to win this game. Sambuco tried to win the draw for Harris. Price frees it up with Ransom. 2-on-1. Ransom shoots and scores! Nick Ransom gets one back for George Mason. First shot this period. It counts. That's a 2-goal lead back intact. The odd man rushes have not gone the way of Drexel tonight. The Dragons really controlled that draw. It's Price, sends Ransom streaking, and he has a 4-point evening. Time of the goal, 7 minutes, 31 seconds. High-scoring affair in this one. Lim steers that one to the wall. Eric Eisler on to pursue. Comes James Sharp. Goodwin gets bodied, but Farley assumes control of the puck. Sharp. Center ice. Quickly back at Alexei Karpov. Hayden Surratt and the dial-up Bodai. It's Hutchinson. Brady Doyle for Mikolas. Markowitz aggressive on the forecheck. Buchanan, wide open steal near side, shoots and Lim brings it to a halt. Nice glove stop. 11:14 to play. Shots here in the third period, 8-3 in favor of Drexel. Puck will flutter out to neutral ice. Fisher gave it away clean to Buchanan. Few handles in the slot. Falls down as he shoots. Mudrick. Now Steele. He turns on the brakes. Coming back to the near side. Firing was Mikolas. Never got through, and out comes Morisco. Miscue on the breakout for the Dragons. Going to result in icing with 10:33 to play. Price on for the draw. 4 points for Price in this one. On that one, emphatically back for Sharp. Sputtered out for Chun. Sharp will hold the zone. Ransom dance along the line. Now Chun skates in, tried to center it. Petit couldn't get it to fall. Breakout brewing for Drexel. Jacobs from Mudrick. Gives it right back to him. Tried to center one for Sambuco. Won't go. Petit. Joined by Price 2-on-2. Spinorama Petit. We'll wait for the cavalry to catch up. Sends one ahead for Goodwin, and no Sereno at the doorstep denies Goodwin. Said earlier, 5 goals might not be enough to win this game. You really cannot go down 3 goals at this point if you're Drexel. As much as the offense looked to be back in gear earlier this period, just a big ask of a team to come back from a 3-goal deficit inside 10 minutes to play. Alley fires, and it's warned by Harris. George Mason does a great job racing back defensively and avoiding those odd man rushes. Seen that tonight. Here's Sambuco. Shoots and a save Lim. Harris drags the puck with his skates towards the corner. Sambuco able to get one to Burkhan. Shoots off the side of the goal. Harris reaches, jams, and a save for Lim. Harris wins the draw. Sambuco back to Burkhan off the half boards through traffic. Lynn makes the stop. Burkhan held the zone for the time being. Now swiped right back by Sambuco. Shoots and a save Lim. He has been busy here in the third. Shots 11-3 now in favor of the Dragons. Quick challenge from McCarron, sends that one up into the netting. Should be staying in the offensive end for Drexel. Steele, once again, O-zone draw, matched up against his fellow number 10, Matthew Price. Advantage Dragons, puck down into the left wing corner. Price has it, looking for space. Doesn't find much space, but does find the offensive end. Taken down, no call, Surratt. First of the puck for Drexel. Steele clears high. Darting after it, Hutchinson. Good layering by Dylan Chun. Across the way, clean for Ransom. Ransom has the game's most recent goal on that feed from Price. Hutchinson, the takeaway, and a puck intended for Farley. Steele trying to go one-on-one with Quinn Alley. Steele sends it in front off the skates. It goes of McCarron. Couldn't get the shot clean. This is Petit. Not neutral ice. No rush here for the Patriots. Need some new lines. Less than 8 minutes to play in regulation here on the Sports Fan Base Network. We thank you for joining your Saturday evening with us. Ransom just off the bench, steered aside by No Sereno. Plylar in close, save No Sereno. Coming back up the middle, Alley races over, holds the line. Hinkson wanted it, he got it. Comes back out for Quinn Alley now. Nicholas sees what's open up the middle and through the skies. Hinkson on the scene and into the bench with the Patriots, and a stoppage, 7:11 to go. Again, shots heavily favoring Drexel here in the third, 12-3. Drexel winning this period 2-1, but overall trailing 6-4. Lim able to get away with coming out of the cage there. Jacobs fighting for it. He was really triple teamed in the circle. Markowitz Now it's Burkhan. Cross ice for Harris. Trailing Jacobs. Shot is blocked. Karpov collects for George Mason. Tiberio had to hold neutral ice. Plylar far side. That's Karpov. Karpov hangs, drops for Mylar. That puck is stuck. I'm not sure where it went. Looks like Nocerino does have it. That went into his catching glove with 6:28 to go. Price wins it clean to Chun. Chun holds in the slot, found Ransom, spun it forward. Harris, clearing attempt, glove down by Price. His shot was blocked by Surratt. Now Sambuco just missed the connection with Jimmy Jacobs. Does track it down on the right wing corner. For Harris, banks one off the end wall for Sambuco. Now Surratt returns to center. Sambuco centers one. Couldn't get the tip. This is Ryan Lippy. Dance moves through the right side. Harris can't get to the puck in time. Is sharp. Looks to clear. Drexel will take it back. This is Surratt. Lippy is George Mason in the midst of a change. Nearly gave it away clean to Plylar. Sambuco had to go down to prevent an icing. And this line is going to rest up. Get the feeling they're going to be working quite a bit over the final 5.5. Glove down by Steele. This is onside, and Jacobs is still out there for Drexel. So, I wonder how much these guys will be double shifting at this juncture. Nicholas the shot, Lim the save, up into the netting, 5:13 to go. Much too early right now, but just how aggressive will Drexel be when it comes to pulling Ryan Nocerino? Assuming they don't tie it up beforehand. Karen, right side. Steele vies forward, out come the Patriots. It's Plylar for Goodwin. Nocerino got a piece of it high with his stick. We're inside 5 to play now. Farley carves out some space right side. He tries to come back forehand. And knocked down on the clear attempt is Doyle. Finally out for Steele. Nice to shove it up the wall. Racing back is Hinkson. Quinn Alley. Plylar a little bit behind Goodwin. He's going to gain the line, though. Price in his center. Goodwin skates right to left across the attacking zone. Plylar, bodied by Burkhan. Going to come up with a stalemate along the boards, free the puck. Price is ready. Jump back out in front and quite get it clean. Burkhan towards some space for Tibiero. We're nearing the 4-minute to go mark. Sambuco near side. Jettison one cross corner. Harris pursues. Be a chance to hold the line for Burkhan. Coming over Sambuco. The spinorama, no looker. Save Lim. Harris, he goes down. Doesn't get the call. Zone held, though, by Tiberio. Tiberio, little sauce on that pass. Tried to feed Burkhan. Harris behind the cage. It's off the side of the net again. Sambuco flings it. Caromed right over to Petit. Still not out, though. Tiberio, nice job holding the line. Harris, been out there for a long time now. Jacobs bangs bodies with Petit. He's got it, looking to steer out to his left. Neutral ice. Ransom never had the 1-on-0 develop. Back on side comes Matt Harris. Finds the trailer and Jacobs. Left circle. Jacobs in front. Harris going to follow, and the net's loose. And an irate Sambuco is going to point out that Lim may have preemptively kicked that off. Couple of fans down behind the glass think so as well. Certainly no sign of a delay of game call coming. Shots on goal in the third period have now reached 15-5 for Drexel. Can understand the frustration. I don't think that warrants a delay of game. And I think Harris, however, just received a game misconduct. May not be Harris. May have been Sambuco. Somebody's over in the box. All right, you take a look on the replay. It's hard to really read the body language from up here. And Sambuco irate as well. So he's gone for 2 minutes. By the time he's out, will be a minute and a second to go. A timeout taken by George Mason. Well, that's just some frustration for the Dragons. You put 40 shots on goal. Expecting a few more to fall. Lim's been very good. And again, just from up here, it doesn't look like that was necessarily intentional, but who's to say? Take one more look at it on the replay. Harris for Jacobs. And so Jacobs is going to crash the net really from the side. And there's just no way to tell what Lim's intent was there. Obviously, he knows where he is in position to the posts. And so it goes. Power play for George Mason. We've not had a power play goal scored in this game, amazingly. George Mason did get one as a power play expired. 10 goals, none on special teams just yet. Needless to say, goal here would be a dagger for the Patriots. Hayden Surratt, he already has 3 points, including 2 goals. He have a third in him. That one beat Lim, and again, I think we're going to get a discussion. Did Lim kick that off prematurely? Officials are discussing this. I don't think it's necessarily a question of whether this would be a good goal or whether it would be a delay of game. They're going to call this a good goal. Okay. It's a hat trick for Hayden Surratt. 4-point night for the point man. A short-handed goal to keep hope alive for Drexel. Time of the goal, 17-14. Still a high mountain to climb. By virtue of being short-handed, George Mason coaching staff wants an explanation. I think you start to see the trend here. That net has come loose, frankly, a little more often than it should. Well, call goes against the Patriots this time. Of course, have gone against Dragons before. Drexel with possession. Lippy's going to be aggressive. Why not? Across the ice. No connection. Surratt holding the point. Floats one in on Lim. He'll drop for Goodwin. By scoring that goal, Drexel has created a scenario in which they still only trail by 1 at the 1-minute mark when Sambuco comes back. They will have ample time to come down and tie this game. Right now, you got to focus on killing the penalty. Unless, like Hayden Surratt, you're gifted that path to the crease. Chun up the middle. Defers to Morisco, far side left, shoots and a save, no Sereno. Needless to say, if you're Drexel, cannot give up another goal. Slow moving puck. Chun's there for GMU. Across the way for Goodwin. Now Patriots going the wrong way. They're just trying to keep the puck away from the Dragons. Diagonal from Petit, nearly coughed it up to Jacobs with Harris. That'll get past Doyle. Carrying back quickly is Goodwin in with a 2-on-1. Goodwin across to Petit, not saved by No Sereno. Heart keeps beating for the Dragons. No Sereno's biggest stop of the night, no question. See if we can get that one dialed up. How many times tonight has George Mason had the numbers 2-on-1? This is Goodwin, team's leading scorer entering the night. Great look cross ice. That was Morisco. What a stop by No Sereno. 10 seconds left, shorthanded for the Dragons. Then you sell out in the final minute. Pull the goaltender. Petit with a net drive first, though. No Sereno will fall on top. And that does it for the power play. Sambuco released. So now if you're Drexel, it's going to be a D-zone draw. No Sereno follows the action up ice. That's assuming first you have to win the draw. Easier said than done. The Dragons have a chance on the backside of that ill-timed penalty. Shorthanded goal, Hayden Surratt. So obviously helped keep this one a discussion. Right now I think it's a question of who should be on the ice. Drexel saying George Mason should have a different pairing out there. Harris wins the draw. Came all the way back towards Burkhan, and it is icing. 8 seconds come off the clock. Nowhere for No Sereno to go. Reset and do it again. Drexel again wins the draw. Neutral ice, Chun fumbled it. Here comes Harris. Chun with a nice job cleaning up his mistake. Helped it on the limb. But now No Sereno's gone and he ain't coming back. It'll be 6 skaters to 5. 45 seconds left on this old zone draw coming for the Dragons. Harris, Sambuco, Jacobs, Mudrick's your extra attacker. Surratt, Burkhan, the point men. One to Sambuco, shot and a save. Sambuco high in the slot. Lim was pretty well screened, but played his angles perfectly there. It's the 19th shot of the third period for the Dragons. Sambuco lined up against Price. Advantage Drexel. It's Sambuco, left wing corner. That puck is going to fall off to the right side. Jimmy Jacobs shoves for Sambuco. Back to Jacobs, right wing. Goes to the point instead. Surratt's been the hot hand tonight. Now Jacobs, right circle. Shot by Harrison. It's denied up into the netting. We'll get another O-zone draw. (20-8). Shots on goal in the third period. Same 6 for the Dragons. Harris will take this draw. Surratt staggered along the circle. Mudrick able to bump one back towards Surratt. Jacobs looking for it. Reaches for Sambuco. Cross ice. Surratt fires. Lim the save. His helmet came loose. We're down to 13 seconds to go. What a finish. What a game this has been. Dragons don't necessarily mind this stoppage. They want these 6 on the ice. And these 6 will stay there as Lim deals with his equipment issue. Hard to tell why his helmet came off there. I don't think anybody from the Dragons got a piece of it. Obviously he didn't, or else there would have been a penalty, you would imagine. Well, potentially one last straw here. Harris matched up against Price. Price sends one back towards the corner. Patriots just want to gum this one up. Chun is looking around. Mudrick back to the near side. 4 seconds to go. Down the rink it goes. Misses the empty net, but no matter. The George Mason Patriots with an onslaught early. Hang on for dear life at the end and win this game 6-5 over the Drexel Dragons. Matthew Price with 4 points, including a hat trick for the visitors. Hayden Surratt, 4 points of his own and a hat trick in defeat. That's going to do it for our production here for Game 1 of our doubleheader on the Sports Fanbase Network tonight. On behalf of my producer, Sean Kelly, on camera, Dan Booth, executive producer, off-site, Ari Bluestein, I'm Jake Levin. We will see you in about half an hour. Game 2 of this doubleheader between Drexel and Westchester coming up on the Sports Fanbase Network.